Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today on Sorcery in Action, we are going to be doing a demonstration of an experimental method of spell creation known as the Crystal Garden method. For this demonstration, I will be using my personal sigil as the intent of the spell with the intention of adding greater cohesion to my astral form as well as adding potency to the manifestation of my will through my spell work. Okay, now this particular spell actually works rather than the typical model. It works from intent, charge, form, containment, because we are going to be creating the intent and putting in the charge, but the form will happen slowly over time as the crystals condense. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First, we will add the salt. I want to add quite a bit of salt, because that's what's going to be creating the crystals. From there, I will then retrace my sigil onto this stone to help charge. It was pre-charged when I carved it the first time, but now I want to recharge that and make sure that it is ready. As you can see, there's my personal sigil on the stone, and it is a hag stone, which allows it to also to be a portal to my astral platform, as we discussed in previous videos, which is part of how it will add the potency to the manifestation of my will in my spell work. Now we will add that directly into the jar. We're going to have it hanging from the middle because it looks aesthetically pleasing to the spellcraft, but also it will help the crystals form because it gives them something to hang off of. Now that we've added the intent, we are going to add some things that will help the form take place as it does condense over time. The first is I will be adding red and blue dye to create my octarine color, which, as we have discussed in previous videos, is purple. I want to add quite a bit of that. And because this spell is for me, we will also be adding a couple of herbs that I'm particularly fond of. These are just things to draw my cause attention. If you were to do this, what you would want to add at this point would be the type of items that someone would use if they were to summon your ghost after your death. So in my case, we have herbs that I'm particularly fond of, my octarine color purple, and a scent vanilla, which I am extremely fond of and has always drawn my attention. Now that is prepared, rather than finishing the form, we'll add the charge into the bowl itself using the standard vortex method. Move some of this stuff a little bit out of my way so I can charge more properly. And now that the intent and charge have been added, we add the catalyst of the hot water to help the spell, so that the spell can be dissipated and then brought back into the evaporation process and created its form as the salt condenses around the personal sigil. Now, to create the link to me, the last thing I will be adding is a DNA sample from me to fully complete that link. I'm going to do 3 drops just to be sure. And 3. Now, as the spell evaporates, the salt is connected to the situation that I am already working with, and as I said already, its form will be affected by that situation as it condenses around the intent. Okay, so that will be it for this spell. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to provide those in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please take the opportunity to do so now. And don't forget to join us on Tuesday for another episode of Magical Theory. Until then, bright blessings and an interesting fate. This has been Sorcerer Tal.